Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday night's Q&A call. As you can see, Leah Stasny or myself or Dr. Stacy, but there's a large group of them down in Cancun enjoying themselves with a very deserved break off. So I do want to introduce us, just in case you're new here this evening. My name is Laura Balzer. I am a Senior Presidential Director with LifeWave. I am joined by not only my dear friend, but my partner, my cohort, and all of what we do on a daily basis, Leah Stasny, who is also a Senior Presidential Director with LifeWave. And we basically started the exact same week, right, Leah?
Right. Yeah. One day after each other. Yes, we're excited to be here with everyone. Yeah. This topic tonight is very dear to both mine and Laura's hearts. So we'll share a little bit more about that coming up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you guys, before we get started, and I hope David's out there because he's going to put our disclaimer in the chat. But I do want to remind everybody that we are certainly not here to cure, diagnose, or treat. Even though we have many, many versions and types of medical doctors and practitioners throughout our teams, they are not your doctor. So we always want you to know, please seek the advice of your practitioners and your physicians whenever necessary. The information that you're going to hear tonight is for educational purposes, for you to take and learn and grow from learning about this tech that we're going to explain to you tonight. Like I was saying earlier, we are starting a first night out of a 4-part series of interviewing different fitness pros. And like Leah had just said, she and I have been in the health and wellness industry for a very, very long time. Myself for over 5 decades. Leah, how long have you been active in the health and wellness industry?
5 years.
5 years. So
5 years.
You're a row coach, and a lot goes into that. I think a lot of people don't understand the training that you have to go through to do that type of job, if you will. Myself, I was a personal trainer and conditioning coach with athletes and just everyday walks of people. And I learned so much being in the industry. And for both Leah and I, we are constantly gravitating to higher points of the industry to continue to fill our cup and learn as much as we can. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Leah because she's going to explain to you guys tonight the science and tech. And then we're really going to dive deep into 2 of our patches, X39 and X49. So you guys can really see the value of those 2 patches apart and together. Leah?
Thank you so much. All right, you guys, I'm going to share with you the science behind the patch. Okay, LifeWave is the company. This patch is the X39. And you guys, when you think of a patch, you may think of maybe a nicotine patch or an estrogen patch where there's a chemical or a tincture, medicine, something on there that's going to transfer through the skin. That's not what this particular patch is all about, you guys. I'm going to peel off the sticker off the back, and it's about the size of a quarter. And as you can see, it's sticky on this side, it's smooth on the other side, and there's a piece of little gauze fabric sandwiched between 2 polymer shells, completely sealed inside of this patch. But what is embedded in this patch, in that little piece of gauze, is where David Schmidt, the inventor, the scientist behind this technology, what he did is he created a formula, you guys, and it's a molecular structure of organic amino acids, salts, sugar crystals. Now, not what we find in the kitchen, but this is a molecular structure, a compound solution that is embedded in in the fabric in the middle of this patch, and it forms a crystal lattice. Okay, and that crystal lattice is reflective. So how does it work? Well, we know that our bodies emit a low-level infrared light. And if you've never had the chance to look through night vision goggles, please do. You will see all the colors radiating out off of mammals, animals, humans, whatever it may be. there's a very specific wavelength of that light that we emit that reflects a signal off this patch back into our body. And what it does in our body, it creates a cellular activity happening in our body, you guys. It activates and elevates a copper peptide called GHKCU. And this copper peptide was discovered in the human body 53 years ago by a Dr. Laura Balzer. And Dr. Balzer wrote a book on all of the benefits of GHKCU copper peptide. It has incredible help. It helps with the neurological system, supports the vascular system, the skin. They actually coined the term the fountain of youth because of this copper peptide that our body makes. But what happens, you guys, as we age, we lose that copper peptide activity. We stop making it. It slows down. Well, one of the things that this copper peptide is responsible for is activating our pluripotent cells in our body. And you guys, our pluripotent cells are the cells that can help heal and repair our body. And because that GHK is controlling that, and we're losing that GHK as we age, we're also losing the ability of our body to heal and repair itself. And so we see in studies that by age 35, typically you have less than 50% of your stem cells still, I'm sorry, not that, pluripotent cells in your body's trying to heal and repair. By age 60, which a lot of us are pushing, I know Laura's there, you guys, there's only 8 to 10% of our body's ability to still heal and repair. So we wear this technology on our body for 12 hours and it activates and starts working, mobilizing those pluripotent cells, that GHK going to work, checking out the neurological, checking out the vascular. GHK is incredible. And then we take it off at night, 12 hours off. That is when the body goes into repair and regeneration mode. And that typically happens when we sleep, right? That's when the body starts the healing and repairing. And we want to get a good deep sleep, a good REM sleep to help the body with to facilitate that repair system that we have. So that is simply the science behind how this light therapy patch works. You know, the one thing you have to do is drink water. That is so important with anything, honestly. Even if you're not patching, we need to be drinking water. We need to stay hydrated. The cells need conductivity to communicate with each other. It's so important. And we want that. We want to have that cellular connection so that all of our cells are talking to all the other cells in the body. So that's the science, how the patch works. And please know that all of the patches are made up of a different compound solution and signal different things to happen in the body. Okay, so we're going to talk to you tonight. Laura mentioned about the X39 and the X49 paired together and share with you some great information.
I love that. You know, Leah, really quickly before we pull up our slideshow or our PowerPoint, touch on the importance of the compounding effect using this technology and how people are all different when they get started. I know we're going to answer questions at the end of this, but can you explain a little bit about that so they can understand the importance of day after day?
Week after week, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, we tell people that the first question is, how old are you? Because we want you to think in terms of 1 month for each decade you are old. Because we see in our clinical studies that day after day, week after week, month after month, we see things like the vascular system reversing its age and functioning 8 weeks younger at the 6-week mark. Now, not everyone is the same because we do know everyone's body is the different. We all live different lifestyles. We all put different things in our body. We all have different lives. So everyone is different. But what we do see at that, if you do that 1 month for each decade of life, that total new cellular activity happening in your body, new genes have younger expression, new cells have younger expression. Now, will all of your things be fixed? Maybe not, but we see it in clinical studies, these different things that happen at that 6-week mark, at that 3-month mark, at that 6-month mark, and so on. And so that definitely is, Laura, you and I are in the same boat. Why would we not wear this every single day to keep our bodies functioning younger? Because
Right.
I personally love going to the gym and love being able to outwork people that are younger than me in the gym. I
I
love it.
love that. And you know what? Let's jump into that because both of you, both of us have spent our time in the gym, but also in just day-to-day activities. So why don't we go ahead and pull up this PowerPoint and we can start walking through it together. So you guys, you might want to grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to write some of this down, I'm sure.
Okay, let me get it going.
And you guys remember, we will be answering questions towards the end. So please, please feel free to ask questions. If you want to roll that full screen.
Well, and see, the thing pops up at the top, so I can't do let me just do one thing really quickly. Get this down so I can see it. Reshare. Start slideshow. There we go.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love this. So everybody, we wanted to share this with you before we got started because this is the first part of a 4-part series. And we really want you to see the community of athletes that are using these patches to gain an edge on their competition. You know, a lot of times we don't know certain athletes are using these because they do want to have the edge. And I know everybody can totally appreciate that thought process. So Leah, if we want to move on to the next slide. So we want you guys to know that tonight you're going to get a total overview. Leah, you and I are really going to jump into why X49 and why it's the perfect companion to X39, the benefits that you should expect from using X49, and then what you can expect with both of them together. And having them together as that performance bundle, what it will do for everybody who chooses to use these two patches. Go ahead and go, there you go.
Yeah.
So Leah just kind of touched on a lot of this for everybody. When you start using X39 over time, you're going to start seeing increased energy or feeling increased energy and better sleep. Supports the immune system. You know, Leah, the world that we live in today, touch on why that immune system is just imperative for us to keep that functioning at a top rate.
Well, Laura, that in of itself, when we talk about our glutathione in our body, that's our body's master antioxidant, master immune boosting pathway. And that really does help to get that system working again, right? And not only that, though, when we talk about, people that are trying to lose weight, toxins are stored in fat cells, right? And so using something like our glutathione and elevating that is going to help overall and keeping not only that immune system up with everything that's going around, but help your body detox. So important.
I love that. You know, and a lot of people, when they first get started on the X39, they will feel a reduction in pain if that is something that they're experiencing. Some people, it takes a few weeks. Improved cognition. Leah talked a little bit about that when she was explaining the science and tech. You know, guys, I can share with you, and I know Leah would agree. Both of us have been patching for about 3 years, and I can tell you the quality of my skin and the reduction of fine lines and wrinkles, not only on my face, but ladies who are joining us, we know what starts to happen to our skin as the years go by. And there has been a huge change for that. And then, of course, supports natural wound healing. From personal experience, you guys, I had a full hip replacement 2 weeks after I started patching. And I can tell you that my surgeon, along with his PAs, were absolutely blown away by the expedient healing that I had. It was incredible. I had no pain, I had no bruising. It was amazing. Now we're going to get into the X49 a little bit. We're going to break it down as we go, but we just kind of want to share with you some of the benefits that the X49 is going to provide and support you with. A healthy cardiovascular system. You know, Leah, you and I talk about all the time. We have one heart. I would like to keep mine, right? And I think a lot of times people don't know, none of us know all the things that are going on in our inside of our bodies every day that are affecting our heart health. That's why one of the reasons I use X49 for that support, for that extra tool in my day-to-day world to help me give or help me have the best cardiovascular system that I can possibly have. Healthy cognitive, I can't even speak tonight, cognitive function, muscle recovery. This is a big one, Leah, especially for the sports enthusiast. And we want everyone to know as we're going through this tonight, we're not just talking about athletes. We're not just talking about going to the gym, just those people, or our weekend warriors. We're also talking about day-to-day life. And I think as we go on, you're going to see the benefits of all these groups that gain from these two patches together. Now, I love, and there's not anybody out there who's not going to love, the fat loss that you will receive over a 60-day period when you tandem this with a healthy diet and exercise program. And Leah, you and I have heard David Schmidt speak many, many times, and he's always saying nutrition is the foundation of all things, especially when you're using this technology, right?
And that's eventually a conversation that you need to have with yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. Yes, the technology will help, but we've got to take care of it too. We've got to take care of our health.
Right.
You know, then Laura, bone health, that's
Yeah.
another huge benefit by adding the X49 that personally, I think everyone over the age of 50 should be using it for that alone, because that's huge. As we age, we do tend to lose our bone density.
Well, and we know as trainers, right, that having some type of resistant work or resistant workout, walking, you guys, walking on that pavement is causing a resistance. Any type of movement that is causing a resistance is going to help that bone density. But when you couple that activity with using the X49, you now have increased the work that you're doing in the same timeline that you're doing it in. Why? So let's jump into that a little bit, Leah.
Okay.
Why don't you break this down?
We want to talk about using the X39 in conjunction with the 49. So we talked earlier about that GHK copper peptide that is elevated with the use of the X39. Well, the X49, it activates and elevates, we call it a daughter copper peptide. It's AHKCU. And the benefits, we just actually went over a lot of the benefits on that last slide where it comes to your health, okay? You know, looking at, Laura mentioned the skin and how amazing her skin is looking. The research that was done, by the skincare industry, everyone's trying to put copper peptides in everything nowadays. And the research that David Schmidt did found that there was the ability to mobilize an amino acid, that alanine, which is big in the neurological system in the brain. It's huge. That offers great benefits that are complementary to the X39.
Leah, what I love about, if you could go back one thing, I want them to see this. What I love about X49, and whether you're an athlete or whether you're somebody on the pickleball court, okay, as we get older, the ability for us to recover is lost. And with X49 and with this daughter peptide of AHK, it is more specific to muscular tissue and the recovery and the building of lean muscle mass. And any of us who have worked out our entire lives, and even athletes who are in different portions of their career, will notice change in muscle mass regardless of the time they're spent hypothetically on the field, in the gym, on the pickleball court. So you guys, this gives our bodies the edge to maintain that muscular structure that we had when we were younger. So this is where you're now starting to see the synergy of these two coming together, right, Leah?
Yes, that's so important, especially when if you are someone that works out, and even if you start a workout, you're always sore after you start a workout. I find that I don't have soreness, and I think it's because of that.
Right. Leah, these are just some of the clinical studies that we've done. And I think we could just run through this really very quickly, give people the opportunity to see what the company sees as they perform these studies.
So, and I'll just read this, you guys. So blood samples to measure AHK-CU concentrates were taken at a baseline, 24 hours, and at 7 days of wearing the patch. And then a sample of 10 subjects made up of both men and women aged 40 to 81 were selected to participate in the study. One study revealed that there were trends towards increase in that AHK in people that were not vegans or vegetarians. That's another thing that David's so great about, is offering up other things when we do talk with vegans and vegetarians, Laura.
Right.
Because they typically lack that alanine. Oh, let me go back here. It's recommended for the best results with the 49 that people consume foods rich in alanine or supplement where necessary. Meat, poultry, fish, dairy, soy, beans, those are all great sources of alanine. And then in a separate study, I can't even talk, Laura. Statistical significance was reached showing that the AHK-CU metabolism increased in utilization supporting bone health, which we talked about earlier. And that metabolism is huge in so many people. I literally felt like my metabolism stopped at 40 as soon as I turned 40.
Right. And I know there's people on going, well, yeah, that happened to me too. And you know what? It happens to everybody. So we're really trying to share with you guys that this is a tool in your toolbox of what you do to stay healthy and functioning in a way that you are living well and doing the things that you love, whether you're an athlete or whether you're on just a daily activity type of lifestyle. Right, Leah? We all want to feel good. We all want to look good. Keep going, because I love what's getting ready to come up. I think it's the next slide. Yes, 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 yes. I love this. So you guys, we talked about this. Leah talked about this. The ability when you incorporate X49 to build muscle quickly and safely, to gain strength and recapture what was lost to time. Make stamina gains the first week of use. Now, you guys, as a personal trainer, when I'm in the gym and I see people that are using these two patches, the gains that I see them making is something that you would never see without this technology. And what I love about this as a natural trainer, because I was very funny about what my clients put into their bodies, is that they were able to regain or sustain the time they were putting in the gym, but have that be so much more productive for them in a shorter amount of time. And they are lifting weights that they would have never lifted without being on some type of synthetic shake pre or post workout. I love these two patches together. Now, Leah, I'm going to say something that's going to catch everybody a little bit. I know I'm sitting here talking about people in the gym. Let me ask you a question. Who's gotten to the point, and it happened to me, and I didn't ever wanted to admit it, that you couldn't unscrew the top to a pickle jar or a water bottle because of your grip strength had started to decline? I hope everybody's probably nodding their head up and down. I want you to know, when we say grip strength, this is one of the effects that people will start noticing, but it moves into the day-to-day world of activities, whether you're an athlete or whether you are not. So of course, Leah, we're also always improving and protecting the overall cardiovascular health of our bodies with this patch.
You know, and that can also go for, you know, even people just doing their daily activities.
Yep.
Right. You know, you and I talked about that earlier. Even carrying the groceries in out of the car, you're using muscle, right? And being able to feel stronger, there's nothing sweeter than being able to feel strong.
Yeah, it does. It makes you feel young. It makes you feel vibrant. It makes you feel healthy and that you can do anything. And we see here the breakdown, Leah, the ability and the improvements that we saw just in 2 months with a 20-person clinical study. This is incredible. Look at the grip strength, 74.49. It's just amazing. Bicep curl. So Leah, you just made reference to an everyday life. Those of you who go to the gym, you're thinking about bicep curls. The mother who has 5 kids and she's trying to unload the groceries out of the car, she's doing bicep curls holding on to those groceries, right? So I want you to see that the comparison here is across the board where you are in your life and the benefit that you will gain from it. Next slide, Leah.
And these numbers too, you guys, are 60 days, just 2 months.
Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
You know, Laura, I love too that the studies that he did, the first studies he did on these 2 patches together were over people over the age of 55. So as you guys can see in this slide, this gentleman that was 74 years old, and you can look at his body fat was 37.55. And then after, again, we're talking 60 days, he had dropped it 4%. That's huge. And talking about professional athletes, that's a huge number, a huge drop. You know, even the fat mass dropped, everything did. The risk, the health risk, 53% higher than ideal before, and after it dropped 20%, 32%. So
Amazing.
it's just incredible what we see in the clinical studies.
So again, we're back into all the benefits, and you have to ask yourself, how can one small piece of technology continue to perform or help the body perform on this level? But to strengthen your bones for a rock solid foundation, I know many of you have heard Dr. Stacy on here say, how many 8 to 10-year-olds do you know walking around with cardiovascular disease, gray hair, and using a walker, right? They fall off their bike, they break their collarbone, they get back up, they haven't missed a beat, they're gone. Grandma falls down, she's not getting up. To be on a consistent basis, our only goal would be not for that fall to even take place, but if it happened to take place, because accidents happen, that person is able to get up because they have a rock solid foundation to continue living the life that they should be living, and not have something like that totally take them off their game. All of us want to recover more quickly. Leah just made a mention to that. And then I love this support of the heart. Leah, go over this, because this one blows me away.
Well, when we talk about blood pressure, that's a huge issue with so many people. And we want to show you in this particular study that was done using the X49 alone versus comparing it with that 39 because of the synergistic properties of those 2 patches together. So you can see with just the 49, there was a decrease of 5.51% in that systolic number. Then adding the 39 into the mix decreased it by another 2%. And then also decreased that bottom number, the diastolic number. So it is huge. And again, we talk about it supporting the vascular system, supporting the heart. That's huge. So we're seeing amazing things in our clinical studies.
Love this. So
Okay.
some
Go
more
ahead, girl.
benefits from the 49. Supports a healthy health and function of the brain. Now, we all know that we live in a society that the function of our brains, and we only get one, right? Sometimes, we're hearing things that we don't want to hear about, or we're exposed to issues that we wish weren't there. And again, let me remind everybody, we are certainly not here to cure or diagnose. But I know if I can offer my body the support in any area, I would like to give it that ability. So for more highly focused on helping those who want to increase their muscle mass, reduce body fat as well, and they're seeing improvements to their strength and stamina, right? There's a lot of grandparents on here that are chasing after some littles, right? They're blessings, but it's a lot different than what it was when we were in our 20s and 30s, right? 49 will benefit the most those who have consistent diet and exercise program. Leah, we touched on that a little bit. Leah, you and I just did a health and weight loss, a wellness weight loss with a group of women, all ages, all different things going on. When we advise someone to work out, we really didn't say, hey, go to the gym. What did we advise them? And I want everyone to know that, Leah, what is it really about on a daily basis for those of us who are not athletes?
Just to get out and move, just to get moving. And there's so many things that you can do. I bought a little mini trampoline. Laura, you do wall Pilates. There's a lot of things that you can do, but just going out for a 30-minute brisk walk and get your heart rate moving. That's really all you need to do starting out, if you're just starting out on this journey. Little steps. Just do something different. Do something different.
I love that. Okay, now we're together. Now they're a couple.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, Laura.
So, all the patches, you guys, are designed to be used by themselves, but synergistically, when you put them together, the magnitude is amazing for the body, the support for the body. When we use them in tandem, like the X39 and the X49, the benefits that the body will start to receive are pretty phenomenal. Leah? So you can see here, if you're going to only wear the X49, the calories burned on a bike ride is just going to be about 72.7%. But when you wear the two together, look at the increase, up to 90%, over 90%. Top speed, 22% with X49 only. But when you start coupling them, you guys can see the difference from 22% to 27% and a little over. A distance bike ride, 57% with 49 only, and the bike distance up to 65. Now, look at the pulse rate though. This is what I love. And this is where you can actually see the support on the cardiovascular system. The pulse decrease is 4.04. X39 and X49 together, look at the decrease now. It's because the cardiovascular system is receiving the support like it did when you were younger. And that is a massive benefit. Right, Liam?
What is so incredible is that in order for that bike ride to burn more calories, you don't have to work harder. You just have to put another patch on.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so you guys, as a personal trainer and as a woman, anytime anybody and men, okay, men are this way too, but when you start to see your body change with time, it's kind of really hard to wrap your brain around it. We don't like it. A lot of us, the majority of us, do not like it. But when we couple these two patches together, we're now seeing our bodies build a little differently. The fat loss, when you combine these two patches in a 60-day period, you can lose up to 11% body fat. Now, you're going to laugh when I say this. That won't happen if you're going to drink a bottle of wine at night. And it's certainly not going to happen if you're going to eat a pizza every night, right? There's that nutritional factor. I'm not saying you can't have a cheat day. I'm all about a cheat day. But to have this ability to give the body the advantage, and I know there's many women and men, but the majority of women that start saying, like Leah, you did earlier, oh my gosh, I hit 50 and I don't know where the extra tire came from, right? Now, I want to share this with our bodybuilders that might be joining us tonight. Leah, you and I did a bodybuilding competition. We were there to talk to the bodybuilders in Houston. And one of the things I love about these two patches together for our bodybuilders is this. When bodybuilders are training and they're in the gym 6 to 8 plus hours a day, they are what we call in a bulking state. Okay. Their only job right at that point is to bulk up, build muscle. They come to a point where they have to what they call shred, that is reduce all the moisture in their body, okay, all the fat in their body, total reduction. When they are able to use these patches, but use them during that bulking period, it gives their bodies a head start on this shredding process because the body is supporting that process on its own while they are building muscle mass and bulking up. So I love this for bodybuilders. They love it for this purpose and the ability to shred this 11%. So it's very easy to be using these patches. So Leah, I know David talks a little bit about X49 for women being being worn differently than men. Can you touch on the different areas that people can wear the X39, X49?
Yes, well, this shows the X39 at the back of the neck and the X49 below the belly button, and that's exactly where I wear mine. And David did say that it's better for women to not wear it, and I do know some men that do put the 49 on their back, but it's better for women to wear it under the belly button and not on the back.
Yeah.
Right, Laura?
Yeah, absolutely. That
So
is a
again,
suggestion.
places.
Yeah, I love that.
And then, of course, when we talk about, you can purchase these two patches together, what we call our performance bundle, and it's a nice savings. I think it's about a $26 savings.
So
Laura,
Leah,
do you
I
want to
love, oh,
go last one?
I do. I love this comparison sheet. And those of you who are joining us tonight as a guest, get with the person that invited you and have them share this piece of paper with you or send it to you, text you, email it to you, because you're going to have the real benefits of each and how they come together synergistically. I use this all the time with my clients. It really explains it very, very well. Everything Leah and I went over tonight. But, Leah, we do want to take some time. We have about 20 minutes. We're happy to answer any questions that you have. Leah and I are always under the impression, as Dr. Stacy is, your questions always take us to all the places we need to go. So let's jump in this chat, Leah, and see what we have. Okay, let's see. Oh, somebody had an eclipse party. That was fabulous. Okay. Okay.
Francine, the call will be posted in Dr. Stacy's YouTube.
Yeah, that's a great question. Can you spell what the blank cells are now called?
Pluripotent. Thank you, Jenny.
Okay, pluripotent. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Carol, for leaving this. Alavita keeps my brain active at night. Best place to wear it. Leah, where do you wear your Alavita?
Well, I wear mine in the center of my forehead, but I'm single and no one has to look at it. But when I do wake up, because I don't sleep 12 hours, I take it off and I'll stick it on my neck.
And that's exactly what my husband and I do, you guys. Both of us put it on our forehead before we go to bed. It's a great place to wear it. Tina Smith. I remember seeing Michael Phelps wearing these at the Olympics. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
You know, Laura, that was, and I'm sure a lot of people on here remember in 2008 when he swept all the gold and the US won all the medals. The LifeWave Energy Enhancer patch was the technology that they were testing, that the Olympic Committee came back and said it's absolutely safe, that there was nothing going into the body.
I love that. I love that. I have one of my partners on here she is a big roller hockey competitor. And one of the biggest things she's noticed since she is using these two patches, and I can kind of be right there with her because my husband plays ice hockey, is the recovery time in which they have during games or during their workouts. You know, not to age myself, but y'all, my husband, we used to get out of bed and look like Tim Conway walking to the bathroom. If those of you remember Carol Burnett, and I thought to myself, this is not going to work. Like he's shuffling and, you know, as soon as he started combining these two patches together, the man literally gets out of bed and he is 63 years old. He plays ice hockey 4 times a week. He literally gets out of bed and is walking like a normal human being into the bathroom in the morning. And it's very refreshing. And Tammy has had the exact same result. So Tammy, thank you for sharing that.
And you guys, Tommy gets up and plays ice hockey at 6 a.m. It's not a casually when you wake up, go play ice hockey. It's a thing.
I love that. Yeah, he does. He does. Some mornings I'm up there, right up there with him. Mine is doing that now with my mate. Oh, Julia, thank you for sharing that. I love that. She's getting the benefits. She's seeing the benefits from her weights.
And that's, you know, that brain function, right? That's huge.
Did anyone catch? Okay, so we wrote the grip strength. If anybody missed the increased grip strength that you get by this combination, it's 74%. And when I just even say that out loud, I'm amazed. Deborah, I love this. I'm 65. I have been on the patches for 3 years and I feel like I'm 40. I love my gardening and can work for hours and feel great. I love that. Deborah, I love that. That's living. That is doing things that you enjoy, and everybody loves different things. I can't tell you, Leah, the amount of golfers. I live in Florida. Everybody golfs, but the amount of golfers that will say that they are playing golf again like they did when they were younger, that they really had to take that break and they were not happy. They retired to be able to do the things they love doing. And I just feel it's amazing that they have it back.
Louise, her 72, she's 72, or her 72-year-old husband is now doing chest press with a 45-pound dumbbell.
Wow,
You know, that's
impressive.
72. That's huge, you guys. So exciting. Repeat the 2 patches that were worn. X39 and X49 are the 2 patches. I call them the 2X patches.
So I just because we showed the slide, Leah, I feel like it's apropos for me to share this information. Marge has shared that she's noticed her blood pressure has changed and is already lower since she has put these 2 patches together. Jenny, thank you for posting that for us. I'm very grateful. Thank you. What is the difference between the men and women for different spots? Lauren, I'm not going to try to be David Schmidt. I will tell you, David Schmidt for me is like E.F. Hutton. When he makes a suggestion, that's just what I do. I have heard him say that when a woman puts the X49 on the back of her neck, it's a little too much. That's a very cerebral point of reference. So I think he feels like it's better served underneath the belly button. But like Leah said earlier, men are welcome to either wear it at the base of their neck. I can tell you my husband wears his on the outside of his right knee, down probably about an inch from his knee to the right side. Now, and remember, when you guys get back with the person that invited you here this evening and they get you started with your patches, when you receive your patches in the mail, they each come with a little booklet. And at the back of that booklet has all the reference points as where you can put them. So find what works well for you, right, Leah? I've been using mine in the same spot for the last 3 years. Every once in a while, I might change it. Have you changed them a lot?
The only one I play with is the SP6 and the glutathione and Eon. Just, because sometimes I have to put it on my hip because I do row a lot. But, my 39, 49, those are always in the same place. I've never moved those.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for all your compliments. I'm very, very grateful. Heidi wears her Alavita on her head. That's amazing. It's amazing hearing from your viewpoints, Trina. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Wow, you guys, thank you so much. Any other questions for men? Where do they put the X30? Okay, we just answered that. That's great. Joe, ice time is always a challenge. Yes, it is. That's funny that you should say that. Okay, so Leah, we can answer this. A person from iPad is asking, I'm still doing the belly challenge. Where I place my X39 is under my belly button with the other patches surrounding it and the X49 on the back of my neck. Is that okay? Well, I'm not sure if you're a male or a female. It is fine for you to put several patches underneath your belly button. So don't feel odd about having 2, 3, 4 in a line. You're certainly welcome
Dr.
to do that.
Stacy lines all of hers up. Dr. Stacy lines them all up on her belly button.
Yeah, she does. She does. She certainly does. Oh, let's see, Fawn. Hi. So she's saying that she had a double tear in her larger tendon of her outer right ankle that actually occurred over a year ago. It wasn't treated due to being a work injury and now is healing incorrectly. I would have only needed injections. So would it help to wear my X39, X49 on the ankle? I've used patches since May of last year. What do you think? My answer to that would be absolutely. Right, Leah? You're welcome to put them right on the point of reference. Absolutely. I would also advise you to use the Eon, because if you have an injury, you've got inflammation there, and you're just going to give your body a better opportunity to let those regenerating cells get in there and get doing their job of restoring and repairing. Okay, so absolutely you can do that. I love this. Dana Dixon, y'all, the X49 helped me get rid of the last 6 pounds around my stomach. Amen. Go girl.
And I can't see 6 pounds on that woman's stomach.
Well, she doesn't have it anymore because she wore X49, right? But X49, X49, okay, so with these type of symptoms, I would share with you that with supporting cognitive issues that might be going on, because this type of issue is a cognitive or a brain significance issue along with X39, absolutely. I would also include the Eon patch as well for that symptom. Which patch is best to help tighten the skin, Leah?
Well, I think all of them do, but you know, the Alavita patch is our skincare, skin line patch, and it works literally from the inside out, helping to rebuild the collagen and the helps with the elasticity of your skin. And then so many other amazing things that patch does, but definitely the Alavita patch.
Right. And X39. Remember our friend Mandy in Australia? Her results have been incredible, right?
Mhm.
Unbelievably. And then we have Donna Garland. I have to read this. I'm 74 and I've been on the patches for 3.5 years. My physical therapist says I am in better shape and can do a better workout than the younger people. Yeah,
Love
I
it.
love that. That's amazing. I love that so
I
much.
love it.
Alice, I would put it for women underneath the belly button. So, Jan, Leah, can you answer this? She says, I got sick and lost a massive amount of weight along with massive saggy skin. So, how would an X49 work as I don't have a weight problem? That is a great question.
Well, that is a great question. You know, think about it when we talk about the X49, we think about building muscle mass, rebuilding lean muscle mass, which will be huge with that, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you would say,
absolutely.
Laura?
And the X39,
And
you just
39.
said
And you know,
Alavita,
again,
right?
that Alavita for
Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
would be huge for that one.
Okay, let's see if here we can find some more questions. Beth, I have to read these. They're too good not to read them. Stacy, Leah. My husband is 74. He's a retired police officer. He works lumbering and sawing wood. Also works in an auto mechanic garage. He has over 10 orthopedic surgeries, mostly his knees, eventually 2 knee replacements over the last year. 8 years ago, he is nonstop and full of energy since he has started patching. I love that.
I would love it.
Okay, Francine, a customer.
Oh, here's one, Karima. I like the X49 at the base of my spine because it gives me stability and resilience walking, which that's another huge thing for people that are getting older is balance.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. This is a good question. Somebody's asking, should she only wear it for 4 hours on and then 2 days off for now? Would the Eon be a better start patch for her with X39 once or twice a week? You know, everybody has different things going on in their body, like Leah stated earlier. And I think it's got to be person specific. So if a person has a lot going on, we always want to start them off slowly. But again, consistency is the key. So if they're only, for example, going to wear the X39 for 4 hours that day, wearing it for 4 hours the next day would be considered consistency. Excuse me, you guys, and then build on that. Because, like Leah said in the beginning, there's a compounding effect, right? So don't wear it as long, but try to get it on every day. And then always, yes, the Eon is always a good idea. There's not one time that the Eon is not a smart move, right, Leah?
No, it's, you know, again, the synergistic properties of all of the patches, they work so well together, which is huge. Or
Somebody's
any more
asking, where
questions?
can they get the comparison chart? Please get with the person that invited you, or maybe a person that's already gotten you started, and they should be able to provide that for you. So oh, this is a great question from Nellie Leah. If we are supposed to repair at night, so why wear them at night? So we have some patches we wear during the day. We have some patches that we wear during the night, right, Leah?
Right. Well, and that cellular activity we say we're activating and mobilizing during the day. And then at night, when our body goes into the rest mode, right? The monkey mind is calmed, we go into balance. That's when the healing and regenerative process starts. It just does. And that's why sleep is so important to your body healing and repairing itself, because our body needs that time.
Right. So the X39 though and X49 are always worn during the day, right? Because why? They give us energy. So that's really why that you're not going to wear those at night. Now, Leah, I know you have a couple. I have a couple clients that wear them at night. I'm not willing to take that chance. Sleep is a hot commodity to me. I'm not going to take that chance of wearing those patches at night. I highly suggest the 39, 49 and energy enhancers are worn during the day. At night, always, Alavita and Silent Night. All the other patches in between is up to you.
So here's another comment from Miss Judy, age 81, a year ago, needed rotator cuff surgery on both arms, wore the 39, 49, and Eon for 3 months, and there was no need to have that invasive procedure. That's amazing.
I love this. Deborah pointed out, excuse me, you guys, I have a tickle in my throat. Deborah pointed out, and this is one thing we did not cover when we were going over our slides. You might have to step in, Leo. When you wear the X39 and X49, it creates a vertigo cage around you that blocks EMFs. Deborah brought that up in the chat, and I'm sure it caught the attention of a lot of people, so I wanted to touch on it. Wow. With all the cell phones and Wi-Fi that's running through our houses and everywhere we go, what a huge advantage for that.
I'm glad you brought that. There's so much amazing things about the patch. That's a very, very big bonus.
Leah Carlet has asked the best patches for migraines. What would you suggest?
Well, I have people use the ice wave for some immediate relief. Hopefully that we can get it with that. But, the Eon, Carnosine, and the X39 would be huge, and I know people have worn the Carnosine back behind their ear and, patch back there with those patches. But, for sure, a lot of people do get relief, at this point with that tan one and white one, or even back here at the base of their neck.
A lot of people are affected by those, and I've never experienced one, but I know that it can be pretty debilitating. So that's awesome. So Leah, we have 1 minute left. What would you say to everybody as we close out tonight?
I would say it is never too late to start taking care of ourselves. And it's just, you can make a small change to start. But I think once you get going and get wearing both of these patches together, I think you're going to start to feel things inside that are going to change and are going to give you that want to go outside and take a walk or go outside and garden. Just give it a try. It's incredible technology.
That's awesome. It really is. So you guys, like we said earlier, this is just the first one of a 4-part series. I know that we're going to be bringing in some athletes and some other people that will join Dr. Stacy and interview and continue with this process, because there is so much more to learn, not just about X49 and X39, but the benefits of all the patches we have and how it can help all walks of life live better, live well, and live longer. That's what I love, right? So you guys have an amazing, amazing rest of the week. Thank you for being here with us, and we will see you next Tuesday night. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.